Move this up a little bit.
Nope, we're good.
No, that's good.
That's good. We've got it. We are live, actually. So what I should do so that you can see, I should put this over here. So, but we've got somebody joining us. Yep. Hey, it's
Getting
Phil.
excited. It's Phil, Mr. Godcloud.
Hold on a minute here.
Well, welcome to Ceox Holiday Chat with Chuck and Tim. Holiday Chat Part 2. So tonight's going to be our annual holiday get-together with friends and family from the marketplace, and that just means people are going to be coming in and going out. And tonight we're kind of hoping to reminisce with some friends that we've worked with over the years, or just been a part of a family or friends, and really just trying to talk about the community. But before we go too far tonight, we're hoping to have a lot of fun, right? That's what this is all about. It's a holiday get-together time. But we know that this has been a particularly challenging year for a lot of people. One of our guests that was going to join us tonight just suffered a major loss in their family, and our family suffered a loss. I know that many families have suffered pretty big losses this year, and we just want to say that doesn't go unnoticed, right? We had a friend of Udicci's that passed away. A woman who'd been on a couple shows a couple times, and we miss those people, and there's very important connections and very important relationships in our life, and we're hoping that we can sort of honor the lives that are no longer here on Earth with us by remaining connected with those that we care about and those that we appreciate. And so we're saying this is going to be a fun night, but we do want to kind of just take that moment to remember those who may be hurting. So we are going to take just a little, our version of a moment of silence, and then we'll go on from there. So we've got some silence working.
Lost Phil, but we have gained two other guests. So I'm working on trying to bring them in here. So
okay,
bear with me a minute.
So if you are, who do we have waiting for us here? Let's see if I can get a view. Wow, look over here. I can't.
Bear with us, everyone, as we work through the live stream, the real-time production.
Oh, that's over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so again, we are going to have a good time tonight. We're very, very thankful for anybody who may join in and connect, and anybody who's watching. Like I said, send us a text, message us. We're going to be watching all of our messaging platforms. We'll send you out a link if you'd like to get in, and we'll go from there. And for anybody who's hurting tonight, just know our hearts are with you, right? Even though that we have lost people, we've all lost people. We're here together also. So good night. And who do we have on deck?
So, like I said, we lost Phil. I think there he's coming back in.
Okay, we got Phil coming back in.
All right.
And who do we have on deck?
And we have Scribani.
Mr. Scribani.
Leah.
How are you, sir?
And Leah.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I am so glad that you joined us. I don't know. I was hoping that Sierra would come on when he joined us, but and for those who are waiting, we're going to begin we're going to create our Brady Bunch profile as we do this. So can you work on shrinking us to a half size?
Yep,
and then we're going to bring in the other three people as we go. But Mr. Scribani, I appreciate you. I thank you for coming on last year. I thank you for staying connected this year. But I just want to ask about the emu.
Hold on.
Ask any question you want.
So I think that this year you have fallen in love with an emu.
I have.
And how did this whole thing happen?
The quick version of that would be I was before I became fully self-employed, I was driving to my place of work, and I had driven by a house that had a couple of giant birds in their backyard that I thought were ostrich. I called my wife. I was like, "Babe, there's this lady down the street who has a bunch of ostriches. We gotta find out how to deal with it." And she's like, "I guarantee they're not ostrich." She's like, "They're probably emu." And I was like, "What are those?" So I Googled it. Sure enough, that's what I saw. And on the way from work, I decided to stop at her house and knock on the door. And she invited my whole family over to her house, all of her emus, and he gave us a baby chick. So we
And
took it home, and now he's 6 feet tall and 180.
so it's actually interesting. The pictures I've seen, it seems like it's actually an affectionate bird.
They are. When you raise them as chicks, it basically thinks that Ashley and I are its parents.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Does that sound correct? Are you good?
Yeah,
It's not coming out of speaker.
Yeah, I'm working on that too. There's a couple
All
of
right,
things
so-
we got going on, but
Leah and Phil, can you both hear us? Phil, Leah, can you hear us? Okay, we can't hear them.
we can't hear them.
We can't hear them. All right, we're working out. We have an audio issue bringing in these other streams here. So Dave can hear us.
I can, and I can actually hear them talking.
Oh, that's
You can hear them
interesting.
talking. All right, can you guys hear Dave talking?
Yes,
All
it
right,
is.
so yeah, we got to work through a little issue that we're having right now on that side of things.
Let's see if that helped. Maybe turn it on. Well, we can't turn it on yours either, though.
What's that?
The thing.
I'm just wondering why it's not running through the speaker over there also, but not that I'm too worried about that.
Yeah.
All right, so anyways, we'll keep working on that. Now, Mr. Scribani, you said something when you just began. Now, did I hear you say that you are now, what, did you say full-time employed or full-time self-employed in the beginning of that statement?
I'm full-time self-employed.
So what are you doing?
So when COVID hit and we were back in Rochester for a little while, I felt like that was a time where I really realized that I needed to not depend on somebody else for a paycheck. I felt like the only way I would feel completely secure financially is if I made my living. So I started trying to just brainstorm about what it was that I might want to start. And I had a friend of mine reach out to me who owns a marketing agency, and he asked for some help with some basic Facebook ads for some of his clients. And he trained me, taught me how to do marketing. I fell in love with the marketing and branding world through the art of telling stories. And after that, I branched out into my own thing, and it took off. And within 7 months, I was able to quit my job.
Wow, that's excellent. So what are you working on specifically? So you're working on helping other companies develop their brands? Are you focused on what aspects of that are? Now, when you talk about the telling stories, and obviously that's a big part, and where are you guiding these brands toward right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it's kind of funny how it worked out. My first client was a chiropractor, and that's how it's kind of just stuck. I work primarily right now with chiropractors, and I help them create a recognizable and trustworthy brand within basically a 30-mile radius of their area. And we do that through story content, testimonials from patients, and we leverage now Facebook the most for ads for them. I think that that's going to change very soon with the way the metaverse is controlling what type of content you share, especially against conventional medicine.
Yeah, no, it's definitely all going to change with the metaverse stuff, and I think that that's a conversation we should have kind of another time to get even a little bit deeper what that looks like. And also, I do want to share. So we're working with somebody right now who's in a different industry, but let's just call it, same story, different industry kind of deal. And we're working to set up a license idea with them because they basically have expanded their business quite well by using the services of somebody like yourself who's serving a specific industry, and has really helped them to kind of pick up their customer base. And now they just want to take that to the next step further, where they're going to license their brand, right? So actually just increase the actual overall revenue that comes from the marketing for kind of everybody involved. And I think that, doing that into the metaverse is going to be fun, but doing that on blockchain just makes it easy.
Yes.
So that's kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to do a quick audio check and see if we can get anybody else in here yet. So let's try this. All right, Leah. Phil, do you hear us yet?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yes.
Phil, can you hear us yet?
You're on mute,
Okay.
Phil.
No Phil. So we're going to keep
So
this.
he's on mute, so.
So Phil can't hear us, or we can't hear Phil.
He was on mute.
He was on mute.
There's a speaker button at the bottom. If he pressed it and it's red, he might not be able to hear because the speaker button might be turned off.
Yeah. And now we just lost him. So we'll keep that in there. But Miss Kazmierski, how are you, sister?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We are well. I don't know if you happen to know the person next to you, but in typical
Yes,
Ceox
I do.
Oh, you guys know each other?
No, I know Tim. Were you saying, do I know Dave?
Yeah, Dave Scribani.
No, I know other Scribanis.
They're all, yeah.
I'm sure you do.
All Scribanis. It's kind of like that just means good, right? Scribani.
Yeah,
equals
Scribani
good.
is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm certain that if, because, so Leah works closely with Bethel, and obviously there's Scribanis, or at least was a Scribani at Bethel until earlier this year, who became a Domina, correct?
A Domina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my sister, and my parents met and got married at Bethel in the 80s.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. And we're, our office is actually now at Open Door Mission with Chris Scribani.
Oh, yeah, that's my own.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And now you know
So,
Dave
yeah.
Scribani, and that's kind of what... And
So
that's
yeah,
what this
so
is
now
supposed
I know Dave. So I feel like I'm like adding to the Scribani list, which is great.
And that's what this is supposed to be all about, is really just trying to stay connected and, hopefully live life healthy and happy together. I see this. Okay, so now we've got Phil back again, and this time, let's see. Phil, can you hear us? All right,
I can hear him.
I can.
You can hear him.
I can hear him, but I can't see him.
Oh. I'll try again, Phil.
Hello.
There we go. All right. So now I think that
there we are.
we're starting to make all of this happen. Now, we don't have Phil on video yet. You guys can see him in video, and we'll kind of let Phil kind of come in. And I don't know if Phil Coleman and Dave, if you guys would have ever connected through stuff that we did, but if you've paid any attention to who's hot in Rochester, New York right now, you have seen Phil all over there, along with all over the rest of the world, because Phil is just knocking it out. But now, so Phil, do you know Leah or Dave?
No, I don't believe so.
Dave.
Nice to meet
Hope
you,
you're
Leah.
well.
Nice to meet you, Dave. Hope you're all doing well.
So we'll do a little quick introduction here. And who do we have on the? Is that Les?
That's Les.
Les, nice to see you. Now that's our South Carolina connection, and let's just say our deep operative undercover connection for blockchain. But let's have a little fun here, because again, we try to make this whole Ceox holiday connection as people come in and go, and nobody's going to stay on forever, and they drop off. We're going to keep adding people, and hopefully we'll be playing some of our videos of old. So right now, I'm hoping that Jesse Sprinkle will jump on. He did communicate me with a little bit, because we kind of wanted to remember something we had done in the past with Phil and Jesse Sprinkle. But I think what we're going to do is just key this up and just a little bit from the past, and we want to kind of tell a story that will tie everybody currently on our stream together. And this will be kind of, to bring lesson to this story is going to be, just give a lot of latitude for that one. All right, here we go. All right, you ready? Yep.
All right.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. You guys really went digging for that, huh?
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me, I got to figure out how to get back in there to get the interact button there. All right, here we go.
Look how short my hair is. Wow.
I know that angels fly is nothing new to me. Without a shudder with the gospel grit, I see it in her eyes when she sings to me. She fell into me off her poison lips. Know that angels fly is nothing new to me. Without a shudder with the gospel grit, I see it in her eyes when she sings to me. She fell into me off her poison lips. Never been like this before, but it crossed over every goes wall. Don't know whether I'm drowning or flying, but no one's just alive. I can still fight more blind, and I still got a goal in sight. Got a dream in mind, won't believe in mine. And I try to persevere through the day, keep popping no drugs, no guns, but that's where the money is, and that's where the problems are. Running no slip in the rain, but it's somewhere everything believes in the sun stands and spring me in the world for the shit. Preach to you off of poison lips, energy tricks, fame no risk. Talking too much, can't explain nothing. I'm gonna preach to the masses, only text in the head, let's roll with the words of my lips. I know that angels lie, it's nothing new to me. Without a shudder with the gospel grip.
Mr. Phil Coleman from like what 10, I don't remember what. So what we're bringing this in is back in the day, Tim and I, when we began all of this and we were doing some community work and trying to really just get some attention around this forthcoming economic revolution, we did our first holiday special called Festivus, and it was in the basement of a local bar and grill that had a little performance studio outside, and Phil performed with Jesse. It was an original piece. So that's kind of the first time that we really worked with Phil in his profession. We knew Phil from, prior. Tim used to live down in that area.
Yep.
But right now, Phil is literally knocking it out of the park in the, let's call it, media profession. But I'll say now more on the marketing side, to bring it back to Dave here a little bit, in that he's actually out helping major artists with their NFT launches. So
yeah, Phil, what was this picture? Chuck shared a picture with me today. What was that, like meeting a hero, or?
I shared the Tommy Chong one.
Oh, no, so I got asked to be a part of an interview with Tommy Chong, and and this is really bad on my part, but I forget the name of the organization that asked me to be a part of all this, but they had me on there. It was just about using Web3 and all this stuff to help what they were calling marijuana prisoners of war and everything. It was really cool interview, man. Like, people who have been incarcerated for some years were just coming home to their families and were on this interview, and Tommy was welcoming them back home and everything. And I was on there to they want to put together a live performance and do some NFT stuff. So it was wild to just be in the midst of all that energy. And this is Web3. This is what the NFT space is doing and bringing together. So that's what that whole thing was. Really intense interview.
Now, what I think is amazing, and for anybody who's tuning in or has watched anything that we've done so far this year, is when we jump back to what Dave was saying just a few minutes ago about the metaverse, and effectively what Phil's doing right now is laying the foundation of carrying some important messaging forward into the metaverse, right? While also creating these different artists. And for anybody who's tuned in and paid attention, you've got like the Sandbox right now, right? You've got Snoop Dogg, who just basically helped grow an entire metaverse together. But that's only one piece of it. And so what I hear from you saying now, right now, Phil, is that you're actually going to bring like an activist standpoint toward this with him. Is that correct?
Oh yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah,
so
there's
much, so much activism and so much, charity work that is all tied into everything here in the space, So yeah, with this one, we're going to be, the ultimate goal of this organization is to, bring more people incarcerated for, marijuana arrest home. And I personally didn't know a lot of these stories until I got involved with with this group, and it's been moving pretty fast. Like they literally asked me the day before, like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "Okay, well, Tommy Chong's going to be on an interview in the morning. If you want to come by," I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So but a lot of these people have been through so much, so for us to be able to take all the attention that's on the NFTs and the Web3 and to bring this other issue into that same light, it's just amazing. And when you tie all this like revenue that's coming in from NFTs, from crypto, from Web3, from these metaverses into the charity aspects, it's just a match made in heaven. You know what I mean? It's like you just can't deny this. So yeah, that's what we're planning on doing.
Yeah, I think I find it exciting, and again, it's we're just a bunch of nobodies trying to just do something good, right? I mean, and that's who we've been since day one. But the great thing, and why I really do appreciate this, these kinds of connections, is we're really just continuing forward the steps that we've been trying to work toward for the past decade. I mean, ultimately, like we share that video from earlier tonight, and there was always greater intent behind what we were doing, and I agree with you that the NFT space right now is so wide open to really help reform the way we do many things. I take a look at the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, right? Like, this is the time to start talking about things like, oh yeah, slavery is a real thing still in this world, and we literally are having people trafficked and having one person go to jail for, what'll probably be a white collar jail type situation for that is not necessarily enough. And for years, people who have maybe controlled the economics of the world have also sort of controlled the narratives. And we look right now with what's going on in as you say, the Web3, and the people get to kind of change the narrative going forward. And I really like when you speak in terms of the impacts from like the marijuana incarceration, right? I look at that and think that like there's a whole, that goes back to when I first learned that we have for-profit prison systems. Like, that's a real issue, right? Mm-hmm. That's a real huge issue. And if we can begin bringing economic value that is created and aligned with the actual values of the people, like maybe we can actually begin to detach from what is really truly fake value when we speak in terms of fiat. And I'm going to kind of jump over to that for a second, is how we kind of get in with Leah. Now, Leah has for years been trying to develop an organization called Restoration Rochester, where she's putting together the ability to kind of cross-share resources to help people who have been impacted by things like this, marijuana incarceration, or all sorts of other injustices, or simply trying to, make it through another day in Rochester, New York, which is not great. But Miss Leah, how are you doing?
Doing well. It's been a busy year. Really busy year. It's so good to see Tim. Hi, Tim.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, so in the wake of COVID, we actually, for the last year and a half, we've been working on eviction prevention, pretty much solely working on that. We still are helping clients who come in with other needs and trying to help with some of the case management of helping them get the resources that they need to climb out of the situation that they're in. So we take those on a referral basis. But for the most part, we've just been doing eviction prevention, which has been just wild. We partnered with Open Door Mission to do it. And so we've almost paid out $2 million in eviction prevention funds from the county within the last year and a half. So it's been a very busy year. It's been a blessing to help people stay in their homes and not end up on the streets. So that's truly been a blessing. It's been a lot of work for sure.
And so your office is now with Open Door Mission.
Yeah, so our office has been there for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
At Open Door. It'll be 2 years this coming spring. So we're looking in the next year and a half or so, hopefully by 2023 is our goal, to be in our own space and have a centralized resource center hub for the city. So, and it may end up happening sooner. We just want to wrap up eviction prevention before we jump into another big project.
And I do find it interesting because I know, now, Leah, you don't necessarily stay too deep into the technology, but now that we've kind of changed our focus to blockchain, I'm going to tell you what's very, very interesting is a lot of the technological barriers that existed before, and that I want to be cautious of that. Okay, a lot of the technology that existed before to solve the problems you wanted to solve also had some issues in, let's say, the barriers that exist within community and the way technologies work and the way markets work. And I guess what I really want to say here is that blockchain changes all of that. It literally.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you guys start talking about all that, you go way over my head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that.
I wish I was better versed, and I was just looking up NFT. I'm like, what does NFT even mean? So,
well, see, and this is an important piece, right? Because what Phil is doing is leading. Okay, we have this massively huge. If you're not familiar with it, when I tell you there is an economic revolution, there's a tidal wave coming in, and it's all going to be changed. The way that we do any kind of commerce, the way that we exchange with one another, any sort of value, we're not going to be reliant on something like $1. We're going to have different means of sharing resources and sharing value with one another, and this is not something that's going to be 10 years out. All right, just give you an idea how fast this is moving. In 10 years, most of us will be more or less living in the metaverse, which will be like we're wearing Oculus or wearing augmented reality type glasses that you will have your technology in front of you as you're walking down the road. And, we think through that. And this is like when we were working in our, like let's say the cloud environment, which is what we were doing when we were working the community work, we really were missing how fast things were moving elsewhere. And the blockchain, I'm going to say in the next 3 to 5 years, probably replaces, let's say, it becomes the operating system for the internet as we know it today. And it really is going to change quite a few things with the way that we interact individually and collectively, because data ownership and interaction between that data, i.e. the resource database that you always talked about, who owns it, and right, that's everybody wants to own their piece. NFTs that are being sold today that look like you're buying a dragon to play in a metaverse, which they are that, and there's a lot of good value for that, but that is really just introducing the foundational value of blockchain, which is NFTs. And now I'm going to take that jump and go all the way over to Les, because Les was working in this space probably before Leah was born, maybe before Dave was born, or around that time. And Phil, I think that you'll kind of have fun with this, but so Les is somebody that I ran into and met up with in South Carolina when we moved down there, and he's been in this crypto space for a little bit of time. So Les, could you give yourself an introduction to these fine folks who have joined us?
Hi, I'm Les. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm a computer scientist and cryptographer, and I kind of fell into blockchain a few years ago. But I spent the better part of the last 35 years making encryption devices for the Navy and the Air Force and the intelligence community. So I usually tell people, you've used my gear and you don't know my name. My neighbor here in South Carolina is an F-18 pilot, and he realized the other day that there are systems in his plane that I designed. And I got a good laugh out of that, because he's this young guy who's flying an F-18. To just give you a couple of examples, there's 3 government scientists who got their names on the patent for onion routing, which turned into Tor. So you've got the Tor browser and Tor system that Snowden used to talk to the reporters before he went to Hong Kong. In reality, there were a couple of dozen contractors who did most of the work. And I was the project lead for the contractors. So most of the math in that project got done by an Italian PhD mathematician named Iliano. But if you talk to the 3 government scientists, they'll tell you that they did everything down to pulping the paper they got used to write the report. So I kind of fell into blockchain a few years ago when I realized that all the algorithms and algorithm development and hashing and data encoding and all those kinds of things that we have been doing for years to make type 1 really secure encryption work for communication between ships and things was really what made blockchain work. So at that point, I just kind of dropped everything else I was doing and started working at an incubator that was doing blockchain projects. And I was by far the oldest guy hanging out there. And I got all these kids with backpacks, walking around calling me dude.
Actually, what's interesting that I do that encourages me quite a bit about what's going on with blockchain is exactly what you're speaking to, Les, and that there's a lot of very young, very intelligent young people in this space right now that are going to kind of like really lead this revolution.
Yeah. I mean, I used to go to this meetup group in Reston, Virginia, because we moved to South Carolina from Northern Virginia. And at the same time, companies like Deloitte and Accenture and things were throwing all of these big blockchain summit meetings. And they had one at Georgetown University. It was like $3,500 to attend. And all of the thought leaders in blockchain were supposed to be there to talk to you for 3 days for $3,500. And I was going to this meetup in Reston where a guy named Sam ran the meetup, and it was $5 for pizza. And they would have to close the room because so many people would come in that it was over the fire marshal number. And you had all these kids with backpacks and other people and stuff in there doing blockchain designs and stuff, and everybody just pitched $5 for pizza. You learned a hell of a lot more at Sam's with $5 for pizza than you ever did from Deloitte.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So for me, I really enjoy where I'm sitting right now because I get to literally see somebody like Les who understands blockchain in a way that I could only begin to imagine. And Phil, who is very intelligent and works enough around the technology with we talked about this before, the musical technology. I can't remember what the name was now that we talked about the other day. Yeah, I know you've got your finger drumming, but I was talking about actually like sound design and sound how there you go. Right, there you go. It's interesting because what we have literally, unless it's somebody who's been here from day one, who probably maybe at some point in time they had conversations about what will it really be like when these technologies take hold in mass. And we have in Phil, the person who's now literally out of Rochester, New York anyways, and frankly, again, throughout different parts of the country, and you maybe talk a little bit more to that, Phil, but you're leading the charge of this kind of... I always put this thing back to technology, but you're in it. You're living it every day. Does it feel more like technology, or does it feel more like a cultural change?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. You know what I mean? I think that the culture is definitely being translated through the technology. And that's what's, propelling this revolution and all this change. You know what I mean? It's like we've been able to take everything that we've had before, all these old systems, and now we hold it up. We hold it up to, the blockchain and to tokenization, and then we see what shadow is casted on the wall from that. You know what I mean? And from that, we can, kind of grow our future and see where we want to go with it, and ultimately see what path we want to take from here. And it's really cool because you're seeing a lot of people who were disgruntled with old systems, who were looking to just do something new, people who, for lack of better terms, who weren't relevant before, take this technology and really find their place and really develop themselves. And it's just really wild. So I think it's a combination of the tech and the culture meeting and then just spawning something entirely new.
So now you're an artist, and I want to bring Dave back in because you were talking about like the branding and what you're planning with your business. And I guess I'd like to hear from you how far you've gone down to like, okay, what do I need to prepare for, or more so, what do I need to prepare my clients for as it comes to the blockchain side? But like Phil, you're an artist, right? And you found a lot of success through your art, but it's almost like equal amounts of success now come from the fact that you've learned to navigate this new form, this new media form. And you're kind of helping others in that manner, yeah? No?
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%, man. And it comes from, how do I put this? So navigating the music industry isn't for like the weak of heart. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of for lack of, I'm just going to say villains. There's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of pitfalls. There's a lot of, scams. There's a lot of traps within the music industry. And when I got into Web3 and NFTs and all this stuff, I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, if I navigate this similarly to how I've navigated the music industry, but with the open mind, obviously, and trying to wrap my mind around the tech, I'm like, I can do something here. And not only that, but I can teach other people how to navigate this as well. There's a lot of people were really scared of the tech. A lot of people were really scared when they heard the words blockchain, Ethereum, gas fees, and consensus protocols and everything, but I was able to take those things and break them down into a simple, digestible manner. I'm getting a lot of echo, which kind of drive me crazy.
Oh, sorry.
But it's all good. But yeah, once I was able to do that, that allowed me to be sought out by all these big names. You know what I mean? Like when George Lopez's team came, just because of how they saw me navigating with literally starting from, being a nobody in the space to practically helping organize what the largest NFT showcase in China, from all the way across the world. It's like what? Like, what is that? So with all that happening, it's like, hey, let's get this kid on here. And, granted, I'm 35, but, let's get this kid and have him help us see what happens. And I'm just glad they gave me a shot because I was able to knock it out of the park. We sold out the project. And I just, I'm just leveraging thing after thing after thing. So even coming from being an artist, just having my wits about me and my business mind from taking care of myself as an artist and making myself into a business and a brand, it was really just super simple to apply it to Web3, So yeah, I hope I answered the question. I know I have a tendency to ramble.
I want to jump up to Dave and say, like, so Dave, where have your thoughts been on all of this? And I also would like to know, we have a Mr. Ietza. It looks like, what's going on? Oh, okay. Mr. Ietza may be trying to join. I don't know if we can't hear him. It looks like his mute is on and his camera is off. But Dave, How far
Yeah.
down this blockchain have you gone as you've thought about what it means to help your clients, grow their business?
I haven't, to be completely honest. The part that we're navigating, because all of my clients are chiropractors, or the content that we post and that we run ads for, we all already have to be super careful with the type of content, the ad copy. If we say anything in a video or in the ad copy that goes against conventional medicine, like we get shut down instantly. Facebook will shut down my entire business ad account, and then my business is done. It's happened twice. So yeah, I have not dove into much with blockchain stuff. I've done very little investing myself, messing around with Bitcoin and a couple of other cryptocurrencies and things like that. But I'm still unsure on like what this will look like in the metaverse for any convention or any functional medicine doctor. I think it's going to be non-existent.
You think that you think that chiropractors would not have a place in the metaverse?
If they do, it's not going to be anything that's going to allow them to market what they actually do.
Okay, now you serve that industry, but I would instantly sit there and go, "Yeah, I think one of the first things you do is you just literally have educational seminars in the metaverse." But Phil, you've been around this now to the point I know you've been pretty much all in the music side. But when you think in terms of how, ABC Doctor or ABC Business is going to use the metaverse, what are things you've heard of?
Well, okay. So when it comes to medicine and everything, we talk about putting patients' medical records on the blockchain. Like right now, you look at what's that thing they have now? It's called like My Chart or something like that.
Yeah.
We can kind of log in and look at, everything like that. Now, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not in the medical field, but I'll put it to you like this. Me and my friends, we are buying like medical blockchain domains and names and stuff right now, because I tell you what, the future of all this stuff is going to be, it's not in the little goofy little pictures. It's not even in, this celebrity making an NFT or that celebrity making an NFT or this company making an NFT. It's when it gets down to real estate and medicine. It's when you can go on something like Etherscan and access medical records in India just as quickly as you can in UK or, all over the world. When, so when somebody's like peanut allergy is easily, accessible, or information on it rather is easily accessible by any medical professional via a singular system globally, so.
And I'll jump and go a little bit further. I mean, to the degree, I can't speak specifically toward the chiropractor world, but literally they're going to be doing surgery from other sides of the world, right? You're going to actually have people like doctors, surgeons working in the metaverse and controlling a robot on another side of the world and being able to see this, and it's all going to be done in the metaverse.
Right. Now, and seriously, and with the development of haptic technology, you are going to be able to give someone chiropractic care via, the metaverse. Like it's coming. It's really crazy.
Yeah, the haptic piece, you're spot on, right? I mean, basically at that point, somebody would basically, again, I don't know chiropractic, so I'll use massage. They'll literally map out the way that they did a massage into a token, which would then be fed to a haptic, back mat, and that token would just then recreate the massage that person had done, and the best get bought, right? It's an interesting world. Now the haptic,
seriously.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Go. No, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and imagine, and this might sound crazy, but imagine replacing insurance with just being a token holder. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you buy this token and you have to renew it every so often, and that way there's not these calls from your doctor's office to this insurance company being like, oh well, charge them for this, charge them for that. It's like, no, I paid for this token. It's in my wallet. Scan my thing, go to godcloud.eth. You can see that I am, I'm getting this surgery or getting this procedure, whatever. There's no, discrepancies there. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of it all. Like, and I'll take it to like a smaller point. When I was in NFT NYC, it's crazy that at these parties and these big events, they're checking your ID, your Vax card, and your NFT wallet to see if you have whatever NFT for you to come into the party. Imagine all those things in one place.
Yeah.
Simple. Boom, on my phone. Here you go.
Let me do this real quick. So, Mr. Ayetza, again, we see that you're here, but we still haven't seen you or heard from you. Can you hear us? I mean, you respond. Yeah, we see that you texted us, but we'd actually like to bring you in for the conversation if you are able. I just don't know what's going on. Like, why we can't hear? Yeah, unmute him. Can't. No. Oh, okay, all right. Can you hear us?
Oh, perfectly.
Awesome. Oh, excellent. Yeah. And I want to do this now, like, Dave is, I think he's still with us, but he's turned off his video. So, Cousins on the corner there. But Mr. Ayetza, I blame you for where I sit in my current obsession with blockchain because you told me that they could store a PDF on a protein.
Yeah, they can.
So what's going on in your former biomatic? But what's going on in your? What are you doing these days?
I work for Ramsey Solutions. It's a software company that helps people with their finances.
I think I knew that, and now you guys know each other, at least the corners there, right? Dave,
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dave, Alex, Dave, Alex. So what kind of program? What languages are you working on?
All of them.
Okay. Are you
almost all?
Have you started looking into blockchain at all?
Loosely, yeah.
And when you say metaverse, like what? I mean, that was you scream metaverse.
Oh yeah, I just heard it before, and you said a lot.
Oh, okay. That's it. You just heard it.
Yeah.
So, for Phil and Les, actually, Alex and Dave were both friends of my daughter's, young men when I knew them before I was as old as I am now. Just always very respectful people and always appreciate them and the life that they're out there living. So how is... Now, Dave, are you back? You're back in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, we're in Tennessee.
Are you guys near each other?
We're like an hour and a half or so apart.
We keep kind of thinking, it's a good time to change. And Mr. Ayetza is a new uncle as of, a week ago?
Yeah, something like that. Pretty crazy.
I was hearing, these kind of promises I didn't count on, that like we would actually get to meet her tonight on this Ceox connection, but apparently not. Apparently not. I don't know where your brother is. I don't know where this baby is. Have you seen it? And then I hear this rumor that you may actually be in Rochester.
That's a great rumor. It's accurate. I'm here.
Just visiting?
Yep, for the good old holidays,
Well, that's excellent. And how's life been for you? What's been going on in your world?
I'm just kind of living my life day by day, work, and as a dad, a husband.
The dad and husband thing. That's like a pretty important one.
You know, sometimes you just got to get back to the fundamentals before you pick up blockchain in the metaverse.
That's the important thing. I'm looking at it that like if we do this right, we could leave our kids in the blockchain and the metaverse. And you know what? I will say that half jokingly in this way. I think that we actually sit in this time in human history as we understand. I understand that a lot of people have some thoughts about the technologies that may have existed way back before we can even get to. But as I understand it, we are currently at a time in human history when we can literally begin to influence generations and generations of our families, right? I mean, very often there were shoe boxes with photos that were shared, and of course, over our lifetime, we've got to the point where we understand that there's going to literally be, videos that are going to be shared. But we're now actually, and coming into the idea of being a storyteller for like marketing, I mean, we actually get to become storytellers for our kids. Right? We literally get to right now begin to write the story that our families will live in if they choose for generations to come. So as much as I do joke around about the metaverse, I think it's that real. I think it's like we need to be, as fathers, thinking about, what is it that we're going to be leaving for our children. And I think it's important as we're looking at all of this, and Phil hit on it, we all appreciate the whole NFT, the Bored Ape NFT being sold for $100,000. I appreciate that. Like, great, a collectible thing's being sold by a, and why? Because a whole bunch of people had ETH sitting around that they picked up for 3 cents back in the day, and now that 3 cents is at $100,000 to them. So they're spending $10, but we all see it as 100,000. But we appreciate that the Bored Ape is just the beginning of that. But I think at the heart of all of this is storytelling, and I think it is us as men and fathers, and that's who's on right now, literally starting to think about what's the story we're going to leave for our future generations. Now, I know that, like, Phil's been out writing that story, and I know that you guys are out living that story. I mean, not literally writing it, but he's out living it, and it's getting written, if you will. He's actually, a lot of what he's doing is already getting documented to the blockchain. But when you start to think about that, what do you guys think of the idea that you literally can and could choose, and in every way influence your great-great-grandchildren?
I mean, right now, especially with, the whole blockchain thing, because once something's on the blockchain, it's there forever, So it definitely has caused me to think a little bit more about how I step and how I proceed. Every move now is a bit more thought out. I have a team now that I will, put my head together with to be like, hey guys, what do you think about this? Get some more input on these decisions. And, like growing up and, through my life, I've always kind of been a loner, and I've always tried to do everything by myself. And it's, I'm the exception to a lot of things. And I was able to, garner some success by just being a loner, but now here, where I am in the Web3 with just the way that everything is, I'm like, listen, like I'm going to heavily rely on the community. I'm going to stand on the shoulders of giants and try to use this network of these people who are around me, and allow myself to be there for them as well, So when my daughter gets older, and she has kids, there's this big network that I have, started and have in place for her. Like I'm in talks with my father right now, who I haven't really talked to in a long time, but we're about to go into business together. You know what I mean? Like we've got a building, we're about to, turn it into a store. We're about to open it up and do something revolutionary with that, And again, the way I'm writing all of this stuff it's going to be super calculated, and I'm designing it to be permanent. I'm designing it to have that staying power. Like, this isn't just, daddy getting money and spending it on frivolous things and not having anything left for my daughter. I'm trying to build a legacy. I'm trying to plant that generational wealth right now. And
I think that's it
and
right
my
there.
shovel
that
is blockchain.
Yeah, we're truly at a point of generational wealth, and it's not necessarily because we're passing down millions of dollars. It's because we're actually able to pass down things that we truly value, like you're saying, the not only the connections but business, right? There's a business mind, entrepreneurial business mind, that has value for our children, and really trying to make sure that what is being saved on the blockchain is what they kind of find important. But Les, let me kind of bring you on this question. Now, you've been around technology for a long time. You've seen its impact on society. I mean, Tim and I say all the time, like, we were in the Air Force before there was a Yahoo and a Google. And like, I look at and see how technology has impacted my youngest child. She's 21, and it's significant. And I can see like the impact that technology has had on our society. But Les, you've had a deeper look, if you will, at all of this. And how do you think, like, how would you say, like, how do we prepare what we're doing today to have the impact that we would want it to have on our future generations?
Oh, I'm not even sure that I can answer that one. I mean, there's been so many changes since I came out of school and started doing stuff. And I mean, I remember the day the web came online. When I started my career, there was no internet. We had the ARPANET and some things before that, but the internet came on later. We didn't have all these web pages or all this connection around the world. I grew up in a time when social media wasn't there, and I'm thankful. But my children are almost as old as you are. But let's do this comparison. I went to college to take computer science, engineering originally, and then computer science. It's the only way I could get access to a computer. I was out of school and working before the Macintosh hit everybody's desk. There weren't personal computers. So now let's fast forward to my son, Les Jr. He hasn't spent a day in college. He's got a very good computer job. He's probably never going to go to college because he had access to all of these things all the way through his life. He works for Palantir now. And when he got that job, he came to see me and he effectively said, "Thanks, Dad, for putting that computer in the room when I was 3. Because he had that computer and that immersion, from the time he could read.
Yeah.
Totally different universe.
I just kind of jump in. That to me, again, my parents the same way. My dad early on in my life for Christmas one year. Okay. I'm sorry, I just had to respond. One year he bought me some stock in Ramada, the hotel. He didn't necessarily know what he was like. Okay, he just wanted me to learn about it, and that helped me to learn about the stock market. And then at the same time, way back then, he bought the Tandy color computer for me, right? So I could learn about that computer stuff and write in BASIC, like, print screen hello, 10 go to 1 or 20 go to 10, right? We get loop through hello world 1,000 times, whatever, right? That we all start to understand those things. And all right, so Phil, you got to take off. Gotcha. Hey, Phil, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Phil. Good to see you, man.
Appreciate it.
Happy holidays.
No problem. Happy holidays to you guys too, yo. It's always good to come by, and I love seeing you guys, man. It's always like a blast from the past, man. Look at where we're at now.
No, I know. Like this year is gonna be fun, Phil.
Yeah. Wait.
No, yeah, we still have to catch up. Like, if you're I don't know if I'll be able to, but we still actually need to catch up to let you know like all the stuff going on behind the scenes right now. It's nuts.
Significant.
Like same thing you're doing, except for ours is much quieter and oriented toward the technology of it all.
I love it because I'm not a tech guy, so this is how we all work together, man. Let's
That's
do it.
exactly it. Yeah, no,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We have some fun stuff coming. Like we'll have our own little NFT galley maker here probably next month, and that'll be like the first basic version of it. But we're turning a card game. Look, we got to talk offline.
Yeah.
All right, absolutely. Yo, it's nice meeting everybody else. Tim, Chuck, love you guys. I'll check you guys on the flip side.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, y'all. See ya.
Be well.
See you, man.
Have a good one. Bye.
So yeah, anyways, just going back to this idea because Alessandro said, made a point he doesn't really know if he's planning on leaving anything to his children on blockchain, and I get that sentiment, right? But at the same time, just like we're talking about, we're getting our children, getting our children on computers when they're 3 years old, or like my father getting involved with stock. It's not whether or not you will be on blockchain. It's like in the same way that we're on Facebook or all of these other things right now is like you will be on blockchain. You will have your media and your different aspects of your life captured unless you go fully off grid. And I'm all good with the idea of going off grid, but fully off. But short of that, now everything starts to become a permanent record, and that's where I look at this and go, I don't know that it's as easy as ignoring it as a technology, because I do think it has a big impact, and that impact is going to happen much quicker than Les's example of his son being 3 and not having to go to college. So we've got like 18 years in there, let's say, in that kind of time frame that he provided. I mean, we're literally looking at 5 to 10 years to dramatic change. And unless you've been around, am I overstating that or understating that?
No, you're close. I mean, we're increasing the speed and decreasing the cycles, and we have for a lot of years here that we went from where we have no personal computers to we have single processor personal computers to we have multi-core processing computers to wherever my phone is sitting around here, it's got more power than the whole Apollo space program.
Yeah, and how long before we're all sporting the supercomputers in our houses too? Doing we're headed in that path so fast right now that it's almost blinding how quickly it's coming at us.
Yeah, and not just having the supercomputer in your house that doesn't have to be super cooled, but the connectivity to be able to move that amount of data around so that you don't have to think about where the data is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. A project that we worked on years ago for the Navy was called the Large Data JCTD. And the idea was that you could have more than a petabyte of data. It was just outside of your vision to the peripheral side. But if you wanted it, you could touch it and it would come right to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have to keep it locally because it was right out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And now we see that between all the cloud services and things, we've really eclipsed all of that now with the ability to have availability zones and mirrors and things to where when does the net really go down?
Yeah, and to kind of bring this back is, Alex is still on, I believe, and I would kind of like to get his, because I do find it an interesting, he's a younger father and has a very solid technical background and has grown up on all of this technology, and his experience and his perspective is going to be considerably different than ours. Because while we did grow up on the technology, it was a very different technology, right? I mean, again, we were literally trying to make, I was trying to make a happy face jump around a mainframe so I could claim to have made a screensaver, right, on a mainframe. Not that that's what you were supposed to do with it, But that's what we thought fun was. It was not being completely immersed in our social world and every moment of every day being consumed by a TikTok world. It's a very different perspective. Alex, are you still on? And I would like to kind of get your thoughts on that, because I definitely respect you as a man and as a father, and curious as to why you feel as though it's not something that you would be thinking so much about for your kids.
Let's see in there.
Yeah.
But...
All right. He's not there. Yeah, it's a whole. Anyways, I do think it's. Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I'm here with my. Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you.
I'm here with my. I'm and this here.
Okay. What's that?
I think you cut in and out a little bit. So.
How about now?
Nah, you're still cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a long way to Rochester. It's a whole lot of bits that got to go down the line.
Yeah, you're
just
kind of you're
just audio without video.
Yeah, try just your. How about your audio? No, not much better there either.
How's that?
Yeah, man, we got something going on.
Yeah.
So you're with your grandparents?
Christina's parents.
Christina's parents. Okay. Yeah. So okay, Dad. I mean, like, honest, as a younger father. Again, you grew up in an environment we didn't. I mean, we sort of laid that foundation work, and okay, we see it. But why do you not concern yourself so much about what is made available to your future family?
I mean,
not your kids.
I think
because you'll be there to influence your kids, right? And
yeah,
your grandkids, God willing.
Sure. I guess the plan, kind of the trajectory we're on, seems sufficient. So I'm not worried.
Yeah, you're still breaking up again. I'm sorry, Alex. Yeah, we're having a real hard time hearing anything. You just keep breaking up in there. But I think there was a lot of wisdom that you just said, even though we couldn't hear it. I just trust that it's that. It looks like we kind of lost that. And we have another friend who's going to be joining us here. Steve, can you hear us? All right, well, we can certainly... All right.
We might have to do a little play.
Yeah, we can
got
hear
it.
you.
It looks like we're...
Hold on a minute.
we're getting somebody back again.
Steve.
No, we got both Alex and Steve back, but we still don't have sound here.
Bear with me.
Yeah, Steve apparently... Looks like... Steve, can you hear us? Yeah, Steve can hear us.
Okay.
We just can't hear him again.
Hold on a minute.
I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of a peer-to-peer bandwidth night, maybe.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if there is something. All right, we got something going on there. All right.
There we go. Steve?
Hi.
Yeah, howdy,
All right.
sir. How are you?
Good. Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
It's truly good to see your face.
Aw,
Yeah.
warming my heart.
Oh, well, you can turn your camera off now if you prefer. No. How you doing?
I'm tired.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm perpetually tired.
That, I think, is a relatively common theme these days. Life has not been particularly easy for a lot of people.
No, I've been working, lots of woodwork going on, coming out of the holiday season at work. I've got stuff plugging away with the Recovery Arts Journal and just busy.
So how's the woodworking going?
Very good. Is this live on air or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going out to the entire world. Like, I think we probably have all of 2 people watching right now.
Space aliens are going
I've
to
been
send
doing
this
good.
back to us. In 30 years, it'll be echoed back.
Right.
Like
They're gonna be like,
the
"Don't-"
Contact movie.
Yeah, they're gonna be telling us, don't tell us you didn't know that you should have been prepared for all this. Here's the conversation saying that you should have been.
Well, when I'm running for president, right? No, the woodwork's been good. I had a request for a Scrabble board, and I haven't been able to post pictures because it's for a family member. And I had to learn how to use the laser cutter and all that kind of fun stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a blast.
So now, has it become? Is it the full scale business side that you'd like it to be yet, or is it just still hobby as you take it?
I think the woodworking definitely needs to stay as a hobby because of the time commitment. It still falls under that category of trading dollars for hours.
Okay.
It's a linear transaction. I like to try to focus on if I'm going to be burning the candle at both ends, I'd like to be working on exponential growth factors as opposed to linear.
Sure. Sure, that makes sense.
I'd like to find ways to free up my time rather than make myself busier.
Yeah, and keep something you enjoy like woodworking, and obviously I don't have it here, but less. So Steve actually made us a House Frogmore coffee scoop, right? So it's just like exactly what you expect down in St. Helena. It's just wooden scoop with this frog on the end of it. So we've got like the Low Country frog. So yeah, it's an awesome spoon that we have down there. Very talented. Excuse me one second while I. Okay. Stefano is joining. Okay, so we've got a Stefano joining. I'm having.
I'll be right back. All right, guys.
All right. Actually, you know what? Let's go to. We're gonna go break for a second. Because I have to take a break for a second, and we have a couple people not able to get on. So just give us a minute or two, and we'll be back if you can wait. If you can wait around. All right, hold on. All right, let's get the.
Ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome back.
We are back. Do you have both Les and
Les
Steve
will show up with
okay. So, Mr. Steve, what's good in the world right now?
There we go. Let me see if I can get my headphones connected here. If I shut off my Bluetooth on my phone.
Interesting. So Stefano is saying he's trying again.
Hello?
You there?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
All right. Is that more clear?
It is.
It sounds good.
So
Good.
have you been going to church? How's Life Tree doing?
We haven't been there in a while.
Okay. I was hoping that I invited Garrett to come on tonight. I don't know if he'll be on later. I know he hasn't got my message. But what's been going on? What's good? What's good in your world?
There's quite a bit of latency on my end here.
Is there?
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 second delay.
Wow, that's interesting. Let me try. Oh, from
What
what
happens? We
you're
have
seeing.
to echo it through North Korea.
We have it.
Okay, yeah, no, there's definitely a problem here.
We're having some
Yeah, we're getting
issues
some
with
other people say they can't get in. Let's see here. I don't know what to think about this. This is the actual error he's getting now. Coming in from his side.
No, we got Les coming in.
Yeah, so there's definitely an issue on...
Can be accessed or currently still respond.
It's got to be video.
Might be video, yeah.
Yeah, well, it does. So
What
yeah,
is video?
So that video is a
peer-to-peer video service. So basically, it's not like a YouTube or another streaming service. We're actually connecting to each other's computer or devices. So it's a direct connection. So it's a lot more secure.
But obviously, we're having some
Yeah, so obviously there's some issues.
bandwidth issues.
Yeah, I wonder. You continue to talk. I'll let me look at one thing here. Bear with us for a second.
All right, yeah, it brings back to the... Oh, what are you looking for? I'm just seeing if... Yours is fine.
Well, there you go.
What? All right. Well, I don't know what to do here. See, Steve is freezing up also. So there's no way for us to...
It's not on our
boot
side.
this.
It's VDO. All right, so we're having some problems with our video connectivity with others. We are still, let's see, look at here. We are still fully live.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like latency is gone now.
All right, well, let's we're still on our side getting some notifications that it's kind of slow, but let's see how it goes for a second, and we just may need to call it a short night, because if I can't get people on,
it's kind of worthless for the
and the constant thing there.
There's back full.
There we go. Now now we're better.
Now
who
I gotta
knows? Amazon must be down. Here we go. The Amazon attacks of the world again. I'm gonna see. Awesome.
Economy shut Amazon down.
What's that?
So that's one way to shut down the economy. Shut Amazon down.
Well, apparently they've been having some issues with their cloud infrastructure lately, which makes about no sense. How? Right? Like, yeah. Okay. So
you got to go with Mr. Scott on this one.
Yeah.
The more you extend the plumbing, the easier it is to stop up the drain. Amazon has reached just about the limit of how far they can extend the plumbing.
Is it that? Is it really that? And are they just constantly breaking their infrastructure? Is it software?
Everything with them is software. If you reserve a router, you're reserving software.
So what is it that's causing these problems then?
Well, I can only speculate.
Well, yeah, I didn't expect to have the exact answer.
Yeah. No, I think that they have attempted to make some upgrades, and the system is just large and unwieldy, and they have patched enough things across time, and it is finally now catching up with them.
Okay, that makes sense, right? Like, we've kind of seen that with technology. You can kind of build something that's good and it's working, and then you kind of have to patch these two things together because you didn't necessarily ever intend them to be, and then they go a little further and then patch this together, and over time.
Somewhere in the back room, there's a whole batch of blue wires sticking everywhere, and they can't figure it out.
Yeah. So
you have to realize that internally they're using IPv4, and they're propagating addresses and things around. So when you set up an area to do your work inside of whatever your security protection is, they're allocating addresses to you, and they're allocating them a million other places with the same addresses. Eventually that'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're getting an error message now. So.
Yeah. And when they say, do you want a router? It's really a virtual server that's pretending to be a router.
Right.
So how many virtual servers can you spin up in this particular availability zone?
You know, I remember working for a company that it looked very well polished on the customer side, but in the background it was just a mess. They figured out a way to make everything merge together on the user interface, but on the backside it was just a bunch of patches, like you said.
I spent most of my career working in a research lab, and we would have people come in to interview who really ought to be working in a bank. And I had one woman come in, took her in the lab, and said, "Well, we got a refrigerator, a dishwasher, a hair dryer, and a washing machine, and we're going to network them together and put them on a ship." And she looked at me and said, "I think you're crazy." And I said, "I think we're done here."
So hold 1 second. We've got some more people. Sorry about this. This is getting not good for anybody. I just want to see. I don't know if we could try us getting out and us coming back in. I don't know if we're causing a problem.
I don't understand.
You could fall into a black hole and we never see you again if you did that.
It could be exactly it. That could be exactly it.
If Rod Serling comes walking through the frame and says, "Presented for your entertainment," you'll know you're in trouble.
Let me get rid of that. So, let me do this. Let me do this.
I can't imagine it's...
Yeah, it's not... I don't imagine it's...
It's definitely something more on the video side, I think.
I wonder if I can just do this, refresh.
Okay, we may lose you guys.
Well, we'll be right back.
If so,
that's
feel free
okay.
to jump back in. But we're going to try something real quick here. Let me do this real quick before you add us.
Can you still hear us?
I can still hear you, and I still got a good connection. All my little numbers up here in the corner look good.
Good deal.
Okay, so did you start us back up?
Yep.
But I'm the person who's probably the closest to you.
Let's see if we can get this in.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I remember in the recovery meetings that were on Zoom, if there was a lot of ambient noise, it would cause distortions and latency in the system.
And I do. This is a different system that we've used, and we've had, I think, as many as 5 on at once. So there's only 3 of us. So I don't think it's that, and we're not supposedly limited.
Well, I've got 200.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
your bandwidth is fine. So we're gonna try. We just got somebody else trying to get in right now, and if we can't get them in, I may just, unfortunately, kind of cut this short because this at this point is probably not enjoyable for anybody who's tuning in for us to not be able to get them. And I appreciate the great patience that Les has shown throughout all this, and Steve. For those of you trying to get in, thank you. We appreciate it. We're getting the same error.
We do have other people that have joined, but it's still having some issues. So, unfortunately, that's sometimes.
Yeah, I think that we're just kind of. I don't know. We're not at the end of our bandwidth because that would at least be an indicator of the direction we should be looking to go. But
I mean, if
sorry
Brian's
to our
up there
friends
playing on the video game too much, stuff.
So sorry to our friends who are watching and can't get in right now. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to just unfortunately close that. I mean, I'm glad for everybody who joined, and we did have a lot of people trying to get on. So these things happen, but
unfortunately, I don't know what.
But anyway, so Les and Steve. So Les, I'm going to be back in South Carolina probably next week. And have you set up anything with the meetup group yet down there?
No, I haven't. There's a couple more people who I saw joined online.
Are you in Rochester?
What's that, Steve?
Sorry, are you in Rochester right now?
Yeah, we just came up for the holidays, and we're heading back down quickly. So, long and short of it is Cheyenne's grandmother recently passed, and there's a lot of stuff that a lot of healing going on down
Sorry
there.
to hear
We're
that.
going to be heading back. But yeah, we came up to Rochester for a few days and, kept a relatively low profile for health and safety and all that other kind of stuff. But anyways, so you've not set anything up yet in South Carolina for the next meetup? But you said that
No, I haven't. And there's a couple of other things I want to talk to you about that are going on in the area that you and I should show up at, just to cause trouble.
I'd be glad to do that. I enjoy doing that thoroughly.
The Commission for Economic Development for the county is having a thing out in Bluffton. You and I definitely need to go.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be, I'll be there probably Tuesday. I'll be back in Beaufort on Tuesday, as it looks right now.
Okay, because that meeting is on the 27th, so we got time, but you got to register early.
Okay, yeah. If you'll send me a link. Oh, this is excellent. Okay, good. So actually, we have a great friend joining us right now.
Hold on a minute, though.
Hopefully, let's make sure. Well, yeah, we'll just have to make sure we can pick up your audio here. Julio, can you hear us? Thumbs up? No. I can't really tell. Looks like he can hear us. We can't hear you right now, but this is.
I can hear Julio. I don't know about you guys, but I can hear him.
So that's good. All right. Looks like maybe we're getting a little bit. Are you still on? Yes, it's Holiday.
Ruby.
Holiday chat.
Why is nobody else coming in half of this?
What do you mean? So you're saying
it still can't bring him in?
You can't get his audio.
I can't bring
things that are broken. All right, so Julio, if you can hear us, so Tim's working on trying to get your audio up. It's definitely been an interesting night for the channels. The different, we're getting some video and some audio through. We get some great connections, and then some that don't, and some that are now getting in. It's definitely all right. It looks like we have. Maybe. Do you have audio? No.
Working. Check. Mic
there
check. Mic check.
Julio.
Mic check. Hey.
Oh, hey there, sir. How are you?
Holy cow, we're starting to work again.
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? It's kind of dark because I'm outside.
I see this.
Much better now that you're joining us. Always, honestly, does my heart well to hear your voice and see your face. So this is great.
Yeah, it's just that the lighting is not the best.
It's all good.
Yeah, maybe. There you go. There
Perfect.
he
Oh,
is.
there we go. A little
So-
bit better.
Are you down in? Did you say Florida? Is that you're like
Oh yeah, I'm in Florida. You know, I do my monthly sabbatical to Florida.
you? So literally monthly now. You're going down.
Yeah, I've been here for the past 3 weeks. I'll be here for another week, and then I'll be back home.
Are you driving?
No, I flew.
Okay. Just say one of these times, like if you know, again, if you're down, if you can make it near South Carolina, we got to get connected.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
So how's life going?
absolutely. I can't complain, man. Cannot complain. Everything is good.
That is awesome.
Everything is good.
And now we have somebody else finally making it in. This is awesome. How are you, Mr. Stefano?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. And do we have a Bambino to share here?
We do. Let me go downstairs and see if I can see what she's doing.
So where are you, Chuck? Are you in Carolina still?
So right now we're up in New York. We came up for the holidays, see the grandkids, and we're heading back in a couple days. For the most part, yeah, we've been in South Carolina, but this has been just quite the year for our family.
Hold on a minute.
So it's been a little bit of nuts, but hold on, there we got the baby. We got the baby.
Want to say hi?
That's awesome.
Here's Amy.
Hey there, Amy.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So has everything about the world, has everything about your view of the world changed?
It's slowly changing.
Children will do that to you. Along with cause you to have heart attacks and a lot of gray hair, but that's a whole nother side of parenthood.
She's a sleeping angel right now.
That's when she wakes up.
For the Molly too.
Well, so she was born a week ago, right?
Oh, congrats.
This puppy, Stefano.
Yeah.
She's born a week ago?
Yeah, on the 21st.
Oh wow! And it's quite small, 6 pounds, right?
Yep. 6 pounds even, 18 inches even long.
Wow, you little girl. All right, Papa. So let's get let's get a camera on your face for a second. So what's it like to be a dad?
It is something else. It is. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just. It's a whole nother feeling when you have something so precious and small to take care of for the rest of their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just want to do the best you can for her.
You look at the innocence of that child, and you just are like, your hope is renewed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There is a reason for hope. There is true innocence that's truly worth protecting.
Mm-hmm.
And it is my job as daddy to protect it.
That's right.
Sort of changes
Especially her
everything.
being a little girl.
Yeah, right? It changes everything.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, how's the sleeping going? How you guys good? You getting rest?
It's a little rough right now, but we're trying to do our best taking shifts here and there, and we try to sleep when she does, but a lot of times I find myself, when I'm able to have time to sleep, I can't sleep. I'm just awake for a lot of the time.
Just to give you a little advice, because I'm ahead of you in years, just want to let you know that you will never be. Well, you have more rest now than you ever will. You'll only continue to get tired, and you'll just add worry and stress to that as she gets older, begins walking, falling down. Then when she goes out of the house and decides that she's got a mind of her own, it only gets worse from there. And you're still going to try to protect her because you're always going to be daddy bear. And you'll just be up all night long worrying about her. And, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my 21-year-old. What am I talking about? You got a number of years till you get there.
It's funny. Yeah.
That's awesome,
it'll never end.
Stefano.
I'm sure.
I just my heart just swells for you at this time. It's just an amazing, fatherhood is just an amazing role in life.
It is.
And probably
thank
not
you for
exactly,
your kind words. I appreciate it.
And isn't it like it's like you knew it for 9 months,
right?
But it all changed when you saw her.
That's right.
Right. It all came alive.
It's like everything just like stopped as soon as she came out, and they put her on her chest, and we're just looking at her, and it's like we've been waiting so long for this moment, and here it is, and it just continues to get better.
Well, that is awesome. I'm going to jump back up there to Mr. Julio, because certainly another one of the fathers that just really respect. And so what's going on with Jonathan and David? How are they doing these days, Dad?
They're good. They're good. Jonathan's always home. David is working, and Tati's actually going to be here on Saturday. So she'll be here for a few days. But yeah, I think my advice to Stefano would be enjoy every moment, because it's going to fly by.
And particularly when we say things like, so Tati is like his daughter, and again, beautiful girl, and there is just that special thing with dads and daughters. I mean, I'm particularly thankful that I also have a son, but there's that special things with dad and daughters that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ever go stronger.
It sure is. Hey, is that Randy?
That is,
yes, it is.
Randy. Wait, who's talking?
Randall McGarvey.
Wait, who's talking?
Yes. Yeah, who is talking?
Oh, okay. Now we've got. We're working on getting the screens
so.
all together. You can tell that our technology is spot on right now, but at least now we're able to bring more and more people on. So a couple things are working well. Welcome, Mr. McGarvey, and we still have Steve over there some point. So Julio, now, do you still have your house in Gates?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, so
yep.
All right. And
definitely.
You're still working for Ibero?
Yep, definitely. Yep. Nice. Still there. Still there. Everything is going good there. Obviously now with COVID making its return, we'll see how things look in the next couple of months. But everything's been going good.
That's awesome. All right, so since Julio is here and we did this earlier in the night, we've got some old clips that we have to bring up. This is one of our favorite things from back in the day, and we were actually hoping to have Julio's partner in media join us tonight, but he is not here. But we do have a clip from back a few years ago. I'll just go ahead and make sure we rewind that all the way to the beginning.
Yeah.
And we'll set this up here, and just that this clip begins with drawing straws. I'll just kind of leave it there. And
I kind of remember. Somebody gets choked out.
Okay, here we go.
Somebody
I was more than him, and I still won't do it. But I'm not pulling nothing. Don't come at me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Nobody cheated.
I'm not doing it.
Come on up here.
I'm not doing this.
Come on around.
I'm busy.
Come on, Mike, get over here.
Let's see. Wait, I gotta compare.
No.
You want to compare swords?
We got water.
All right, we're good.
Here we go. Mike. All right, and
fuck this. Oh no.
Seriously?
Making sure it's one. So. You knew it. No, he didn't though. He didn't do anything.
Move this out of the way.
No. What the hell is this?
Here we go. All right, that's okay. That's all right.
It's a little
All right, now I'll get the cameras right here.
What is the context?
This is bullshit.
If someone gets
The mixed martial artist
What's going on?
had to
What you in one
apply a move on her.
What's one move?
One of his moves
One
that he
move
would
that
do
you
in a
can do
fight.
inside that you won't hurt him too bad.
Okay, do
That.
the flipper right here where you choke.
Thankfully, it wasn't myself, Chuck,
Just stop before you break his neck.
Tim, or Mike.
With his own arm.
What the?
Before he
What is
actually.
y'all doing with all these cameras? Go on, Chad. Yo, you heard me, man? I don't play fair. I will grab you by the balls and you're light. You're 135. I can pick you up. I can't believe I'm nervous.
About 3 seconds.
No, go ahead. You know what's right. Go ahead.
Tap out.
Just tap out. You're not gonna get that far. Tap it out.
Simple move. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna show you.
No, go ahead.
You take this. What you want to do?
Wait, face to face like this?
Look, look, you just want to get the bicep under, okay? When you get the bicep, you put it on the side of the neck. Put this here. You're gonna choke yourself out with this arm while I choke.
I'm not choking myself out.
What you would do is you would squeeze as tight as you could. But you would rotate this. He tapped. He tapped.
Yo!
Yeah, he tapped.
But you heard him choke. Yo, I was like, yo, I see the stars right now. But you know what though? That's Real Talk 360, and that's a good sport. My man. Oh no, ain't no shaking up over here, man.
He tapped very quickly. That was the quickest tap in MMA history.
I think that may have been the quickest tap in MMA history. But Tim and I have been over here like reliving things, and we've been going through old media, and Julio, for those who don't know, Julio and Tag used to have a show on Udicci.TV. It's called Real Talk 360. That is one of our all-time favorite clips. Yeah. But I have to tell you, Julio, like, I don't know if you've thought back over those years, the different guests that you had on, and like some of the stuff that ended up going on in our community around those guests, and I know that I know for myself, I was in a building one time and somebody recognized, you guys are the ones that are producing the Real Talk 360, and was so grateful that show was going on. So I don't know. I love sharing that, and I always want to thank you, Julio, for always being a part of our life. I always appreciate you, and those were great times and great memories.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. They definitely were, and it was just good to be able to, just put something together. Really, it was just you saying, "Hey, Tim and I and Mike are doing this thing," and I remember I reached out to Tag and I said, "Hey, Tag, tomorrow you're gonna be here. You're gonna just show up and you're gonna figure it out from there." And we ended up doing a lot of episodes, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, some of my favorite memories come from Real Talk 360, and you and Tag, some of the guests you guys had on there, like Chuck was saying, were really good. One of my favorite memories is when Tag did the interview with where he shared after his experience when they got robbed, and I think that was probably one of the most emotional and amazing things that I've ever heard shared. And that to me was probably the realization moment where it's like, man, we can have such an amazing impact if we can get stories like that out.
I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah, no, that was Jose. That was Jose.
Jose. Yeah, he ended up getting shot. Yeah, could not remember.
Yeah,
what
he ended up getting. They got robbed. Ended up doing everything that he was told to do, and he still ended up getting shot, and he lost his right leg. I think he ended up losing his right leg as a result. He ended up having to cut off his leg because of the gunshots to his leg.
Yeah. It's moments like that where you realize the impact inside of the community, and what's happening, and the direction we were going definitely played a huge role in what we did.
I think that like one of the things, and again, this is truly a part of who Julio is, for don't know, but that Jose showed that night is the resilience of spirit.
Yes.
Right? Is truly how it is, everybody. We started tonight's show kind of talking about, there's a lot of challenges going on in the world right now. There's a lot of loss going on that you have to go through. But, when you are around people who truly care about you and that you truly care about, there's a resiliency of human spirit, and it just kind of makes all the challenges kind of okay, right? The real hard times become okay because of these different relationships that we develop over the years. And I know that's a big reason that we do this kind of Ceox holiday special, which is just to, we don't get to see everybody often enough, and it is good just to kind of see your faces and hear your voices. I'm going to jump over here for a second. I think I saw Mr. Randy. Did you jump on? Are you here? I don't see,
Randy sent me a text saying that he got kicked off the internet.
Okay, so we missed him. So Randy is a missionary down in Haiti, and has just been working with kids down there for a number of years. And they, another guy, they're just doing all sorts of good things inside of there.
You see Jim Kohler here.
Jim Kohler, are you in here? Mr. Kohler.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, we're working to get some more sound. Let's see here. I got to put it off.
Sure. Hold on.
Sorry about that.
How about now, Jim? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
There's Jim. Okay, hold on one minute.
Can you hear me?
I'm going to have to... Yeah, we'll probably just do
My
it.
camera, I don't think is working.
That's
it doesn't recognize my camera.
No,
yeah, I kind of lost you guys.
So
all right, let's see here. Hold on a second.
Bear with us for a second.
All right, so yeah, so we've been having these kind of little issues throughout the night. Do you have Jim Kohler? Do we have?
Yeah, he doesn't have a video though, so we can't really bring him in.
Does not have a video. Mr. Kohler, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good?
I'd say it's good to see you, but it's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear your voice. How's life been, sir?
It's been busy.
Yeah, what's going on in your world these days?
Been working, doing construction on a number of different projects, building a cafe in Lima for the Harringtons.
Okay.
James and Christy Harrington.
You're building a cafe?
Yes. Out of an 1850s, 1830s old building.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Yes. So it's an old type renovation. Trying to make it look old, but look new at the same time.
I mean, that's right up your alley. You're quite a craftsman in that world.
I know.
Well, with pretty much anything you put your hands to. So, when is that? Is this opening soon, or?
Yes, it is opening soon. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
2-3 weeks. Yep.
Awesome. And are you going to be working in the cafe?
No. I'm just working on the cafe. We built a number. Well, Dave Cristoforo and I. You know Dave?
Who?
Dave Cristoforo.
I don't believe so. No.
Okay, he and I have been working on it for the past probably 4 months now, and trying to get it up and going. And it's been a work in progress for the past year and a quarter now. And they really needed some help, and we came along and gave it a huge boost. And then I got abandoned by Dave leaving for Florida. And so I was left here all alone working on it. And it seems to be okay, but a little bit lonely.
Sorry.
Anyways, I'm also going to school for HVAC at MCC.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. And I had to fight the college because they approved my religious exemption, but they didn't approve my
religious exemption, which was for the vaccination and the testing, and they said no, it's not the testing, it's just for the vaccination. And I said, well, my letters say it says that it's for the vaccination and the testing. We went back and forth for probably 8 weeks, and I didn't get anywhere. I lost.
Are you able to do the courses online?
No, you got to do it in class because it's all hands-on practical stuff.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get through all of those hurdles and move on through your HVAC. That sounds like an exciting thing.
I've already gotten through my first semester, and with flying colors, and I've got two more classes coming up in January, and then 2 more the following semester, and I'm done with my certificate.
Wow! Oh, nice. That's not bad at all. So basically, so we're talking about 18 months, right?
Actually, we're talking about a year.
A year to get your HVAC
within 1 year.
That's great.
Nice.
That's great to hear.
Yep.
So, Julio,
have
you any more acting?
Yes, but virtually. I got a part recently from a staged reading that we did, but the only thing was that they wanted people to rehearse 3 times a week in Brooklyn, and it wasn't paying enough for the commute. so I had to reluctantly say no to that one because that wasn't going to work. But actually, I'm in the process now, and hopefully by next year, you guys will be able to come out. But I bought about 60 acres of land over in Naples, so I'm opening a tiny house campground.
Really?
Yeah, in Naples. It's
That
actually
is awesome.
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes from downtown Naples, from Main Street. Basically, I like to joke around. I have my own mountain now. It's like a whole entire mountain. I'm going to build about 6 tiny houses that I'm going to put on Airbnb, and then I'm also going to tie it into some community initiatives to try to get some kids out there to be able to enjoy what they normally wouldn't be able to enjoy.
That's awesome.
Man, congratulations! First off, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on now, and then I'm working on getting some land down here in Florida. So I'm trying to do the same thing down here, but I figured let me start over there. So construction starts in March, and hopefully I'll have 2 to 3 of them done by this summer. I'll let you guys know.
Are you building them yourself?
Not myself, no. I'm hiring. Yeah, I'm hiring. Thankfully I've got Milton and Marcial, who are engineers and architects. So they basically are doing the design work. And then I have, there's an Amish community over in Caledonia, I think it is. I think it's Caledonia. And they'll be building the actual structure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is, so in many ways, where Cheyenne and I are on South Carolina, I wouldn't necessarily call it a tiny house thing, but that's exactly that thought process. Technically, we're just calling it a family meeting compound and retreat, right? But it would be a place where we would have a couple tiny houses, probably more on the RVs or at least portable because there's some different zoning that's allowed on that land. But we're thinking exactly the same way. We've already started clearing some of the land out there, and septic tank's gone in parts of it. But yeah. I got
to do the septic. I have to build a road. I have about 300 feet of road frontage right on Italy Hill Road, which is over in Naples. But yeah, I have to build the road, and I have to do. So it's basically just raw land. I have to do everything, but it's going to be a learning opportunity.
That's awesome.
That'll be fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to have permanent? So could I put a property on there, or are these all going to be?
These would be semi-permanent. What I'm doing is I'm putting them all on trailers.
Yep.
So that way, let's
Yep.
say a family of 20 wants to rent the space, then they'll be able to have them all together. Or if people do it separately, then the way that I got it worked out is that there'll be one site per every 5 acres. So that way you have your privacy.
Wow, that's awesome.
But it'll be on wheels.
You could do. Oh man, that's incredible.
There's actually so there's also there's an island in out on St. Helena that has the same idea where the minimum you can buy is 5 acres. What they do though is they allow the people to put more than one structure on that 5 acres also. So it could be family kind of 5 acres, if you will. You know, you're I'm sure there's some limit. I'm sure they don't allow 50 on that 5 acres.
Yeah, no, they don't. The town of Naples, I've been working with their code enforcement officer out there, and basically what they're going to allow me to do is do up to 6. There's going to be 4 on the flat land of the property, and then there's going to be 1 at the top of the mountain, and then 1 midway up the mountain. So I'm going to basically have 6 total, but I can't do more than that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But you can tent. You can set up a tent. You could pitch a tent.
Yep.
You could, do whatever. So, and most of the ones that I'm going to build, they're going to be about 500 square feet. So they're going to sleep 4 people comfortably.
Nice.
Yep. And I'm going to try to be as reliant on propane, solar. So I'm going to try not to use any of the resources that are there. I'm going to try to just have my own. I want it to be off the grid, but very me, Chuck. It's going to be very upscale camping.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, right? Because I think that's one of the things Cheyenne and I are enjoying. I mean, we're living in an RV now. I mean, you get it. We went from Firestone to an RV. And, there's a lot of change that goes with that. But frankly, one of the things I think there's a lot to like about it. And as much as we don't have a home yet and we're always on the road, I kind of start to feel like we're going to enter this phase where we're going to have a lot more moving around, right? And our relationships will be like, all right, we're going up to New York. We're going to go see Julio for a week and stay at this tiny home. And we're going to go, and I think a lot of people are kind of entering into this. I hate calling it a transient lifestyle because I think there's a lot more intention behind it than what we might have heard from transient in the past. But
yeah, absolutely, and I think it's just a simplified way of living. It's a simplified way of living.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's now I look at my house now. I'm like, who needs 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,500 square feet for one person?
That's right.
That's it's like for what?
And that's kind of so. Again, we've got that RV, but I have a shed, and down in South Carolina, in that shed, which was basically an old horse barn back in the day, I'm actually building out a studio inside of there. But yeah, so if you have this common kind of, we're gonna have a common kitchen in there, right? So you could get together, you can gather, and then you have your privacy. Once you go back to your kind of that little tiny house. So, but it is very community oriented, in that way of thinking. And I think I think there's a lot of health to be found in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, eventually I see myself planting, a lot of the herbs, spices, food, try to raise some chickens and just try to make it self-sustaining as possible. Just to learn something new, I'm from the South Bronx, so I want to try something different.
Yeah, that's gonna hold on. Okay, so now that you say that, I gotta see. I don't see that they're on tonight. So it's funny you just bring up the herbs and whatnot. So Tim and I kind of rebooted this Thursday night social thing. So we've been doing Thursday night social now for
a couple months.
Well, no, quite a few months now.
Yeah,
say
like half the year.
Yeah, let's say 6 to 9 months. We kind of rebooted Thursday night social. 7 o'clock we do the Udicci kind of thing where we take and talk technology. 8 o'clock, I've actually had Sierra involved and we're doing gameplay and game planning and kind of that fun thing. But anyways, at 9 o'clock we actually join this group called the Pirates, and that's what I was just
Peaceful
looking at to
Fire
see if they're
Project,
actually meeting, and I'm not seeing them right now.
Are you doing it every Thursday, Chuck?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna have to join you on the next Thursday because I'm gonna have to jump off because I'm gonna be headed out. But I'll definitely send me the link.
All right, yeah. We'll send you a link, and we'll get you on. But where I was going with the pirate thing, their whole goal right now is to actually create a community, like a network of permaculture communities around the country, where that's it. You actually plant naturally occurring vegetative fruit plants in a manner that they self-sustain themselves. They feed the soil, it regrows, right? So they're starting to look at this out in California, but they call themselves the Permaculture Pirates, and we meet with them every Thursday night. It's a whole different.
No, I'm definitely interested in finding out more because I want to learn as much as I can. I'm gonna learn a lot, but I have a lot to learn, so I definitely want to try to absorb as much from everyone. But I definitely send me the link.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, man. Good to see
really
you.
Appreciate you.
Everybody have a happy New Year.
Yeah,
you
too.
Take care.
Love you,
hey,
brother.
happy birthday.
You too, brother.
See ya.
All right.
I'm gonna head out too. I have an opportunity here to take a nap, so I'm probably gonna do that.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Dad.
Thanks for having me. It was good to see you, and I'm glad you're all doing well. And have a happy New Year.
Bye now.
You too. Bye. All right. So
all right. We still have Les and Jim.
Les and Jim.
I'm here.
Okay, yep. Jim is there, and Les. And let me just check because I do have to find out. Are they? I don't see.
Birthday. I thought it was for some reason. I don't know. Anyways.
So I.
Hey Chuck.
Yeah.
You'll have to get me Julio's information because I tried to tell him I'm working for a customer right now, or I had been working for a customer down in Cheshire area, and he's planning to do something very similar to what he's doing. And he's actually getting by all the codes by building tree houses a foot off the ground.
That's interesting.
And it skirts all the codes because it's not it's technically an outbuilding recreational structure, but it's not even considered a structure. It's a tree house.
Huh.
It's interesting.
I see you're right.
We are kind of at this point, like, you've got to know these different codes that are going on all over the place.
Yeah.
Carry this.
That gives a whole new meaning to the Treehouse Masters, right?
Exactly. Well, and he's like, well, this is what I want to do, and I want you to help me build it. I'm like, okay, we'll do it.
Wow, it's very interesting.
Oh, let's see here.
So yeah, so Chuck is checking with. Are you checking with the Pirates?
Yeah.
And so we're checking to find out if we're going to be on with the Pirates tonight.
We're supposed to be. And we're just with all these different technology issues tonight. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yep. Oh, that would be you, huh?
What's that?
Yep, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
So
Jim, yeah, definitely. I can. I'll share that information with. Well, actually, you know what?
You want to go on a break for?
Well, let's just.
Bear with us.
Yeah, just 1 second, because I just kind of need to know if we need to transition here. I'm not seeing anything. So Jim, yeah, I'll definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to Julio about that. I will get in connection with him. So this is going on in Cheshire where they're building that?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And the owner of the property is a very large commercial realtor in the area, and he's now kind of he's trying to retire right now, but he's landed a very, very big fish. As far as probably the biggest one you could ever imagine. Who could that be? You have any ideas?
Golisano?
Starts
No,
with a T.
bigger, much bigger.
Locally?
No,
Like Elon Musk?
bigger.
Starts with a T.
It doesn't get bigger than Elon Musk.
Donald Trump.
Amazon.
Amazon. Huh. Jeff
He's
Bezos, huh?
doing all of their land purchases and land transactions all over the world right now.
Very nice.
From right down in Cheshire.
Very nice.
Wow.
That in Cheshire is from Bezos?
No, it's I don't think this is actually the realtor that they're using to purchase their property through. He's actually working out all their deals.
Okay, nice. Right, that's very cool. Yeah, there's definitely some exciting stuff going on. All right, so I'm not hearing back from the Pirates, and this would be our normal mix into there. So I think.
What do you want to do? Call it?
Yeah, I guess at this point, unless Jim, unless you have any other thoughts on the night or wanted to talk about anything more, maybe we'll just call it a night here. We've had so many of these technical issues. It's been
yeah, it's been unusual tonight for the technical issues. The definitely a bit of a challenge there.
Well, the one thing I wanted to talk about was a little bit about the New York State requirements coming January 5th. Are you familiar with that?
That are coming, or the. All right, so nope, we are.
Oh, for the. Hold on one second.
All right, so yeah, they're not having the meeting.
Okay.
So what requirements are you talking about?
The vaccination requirements for all of our kids.
Now, yeah, so you were mentioning that on Facebook, but I didn't find that anywhere. Where are you getting that from? That's the one you were talking about that the school board is meeting about?
Yep. And well, they've actually chosen not to meet about it right now, but we're trying to encourage them or coerce them into meeting about it, because if they don't meet about it, then they're liable for all kinds of different potential issues, including what is it? A felony of coercion and an act of terrorism, and they're both punishable by 99 years in prison and $100 million.
And this is the school district you're talking about?
Well, this is anyone who is enforcing either one of these could be held to that standard. But the school board is one of them that's actually I'm trying to hold their toes to this line, saying, listen, you guys are on the line for this.
So I get that comes back to the question though. So online, I was asking you, like, do you know where are you getting that's on January 5th? That's what I keep looking for.
That's from Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul stated that they're all going to review the guidelines, and she is supposedly planning to release this statement stating that they're going to mandate all kids get vaccinated.
And that is what you're saying that she's supposed to release on January 5th?
Yes.
So I knew that there was...
the legislation is all voting, and I think it's on January 5th.
Well, that's where I was wondering if like some time frames were getting crossed up, because I didn't find what you were talking about there. I did see the very questionable legislation that the New York Assembly and Senate was going to take up, which just gave Kathy Hochul some ridiculous powers. But that's been rescinded, right? I think I saw somebody online that said it perfectly. It said, it's amazing what peer pressure can do once we actually let people know what's getting done.
I've only heard one piece of that was rescinded, not the whole thing.
Okay, so you need to like. That's what if when you're making some of these posts online, if you could like get some, because like I said, I think that it's important when we can get it directly from the source. You know, like New York State, and it's out there, right? I mean, like we know some of the legislation that they're trying to pass right now. It's out there. It's for review, and if we can help people see it, you know, the story comes together a lot more strong. But that aside, like. Um, do you have kids in school still?
We do. We still have one kid who's in 8th grade right now, and as a result of the whole mandate, we're trying to make plans to exit out of New York State.
Well, that's kind of what. The next thing I was going to ask you is like, are you coming to visit us, or are you heading down to visit Brad? Now, where are you going?
Well, actually, we're going down to see Brad in what is it, February, I think?
Nice.
Because our older son Christian is playing lacrosse up in Michigan, up at Calvin University, and he's playing a game or 2 games down there in is it Austin? Or,
Yeah, I don't
right
know.
outside of Austin,
I know that
think.
he.
That's where Brad is. Brad's in
I
Austin.
know. I don't know where exactly he is. I just saw that he was closing, but I didn't see where the. I didn't know the name of the town that he was in.
Yeah, it's right outside of Austin. So.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, go visit him then.
But we're considering moving down towards Brad's way, maybe down towards Houston.
Okay.
And then we're also considering Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and probably one of the upper levels of our list is possibly Florida. And the 2 tops of our list right now are Texas and Florida.
Sure.
Because of their political status.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing at all wrong. I mean, you know, we still have an option to go to Texas. You know, I think we're gonna, like I said, I love Beaufort, South Carolina. I love being there. It's just such a beautiful place. It's calm. It's serene. So I think, you know, my hope is that that's where we end up permanently. But we do have an opportunity to head out to Texas, down to Dallas also, and you know. But there's still stuff going on up here, and you know, still have family members up here that need to be taken care of. But I completely understand. I mean, it's just a horrible situation that you feel you have to uproot your children and your family at this point over some very questionable
leadership
or lack of mandates. Yes.
Yeah.
I say leadership very tongue in cheek.
Right.
Very loosely, yes.
Yes.
It's really unfortunate, and I know that you've been trying to fight the good fight out there, and you get beat up quite a bit. But you know, definitely keep your chin up.
Oh, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. So either way.
That's a good thing. Well, gentlemen, I think that we're going to go ahead and just call it a night here. We're still trying to balance some other things on this side that are just not working out so well. But, hey, Jim, thank you for calling in. Les?
Yeah,
thank you
guys.
for coming in. And, yeah, let's definitely go to Bluffton and have some fun. And, and the one thing I did want to mention, too, about, and I put a comment in the meetup group, is I think it might be fun to go to some of our meetups with different like agenda items or conversational topics. And yeah, I think I mentioned that one when Hilton Head was talking about, I can't remember now what it was they were talking about, but I thought that, well, this brings an interesting blockchain conversation into it. And, you know, maybe we could actually start hosting some community conversations around like relevant topics that are down there. And I don't know what that would look like specifically, but I definitely looking forward to getting, you know, some roots growing in South Carolina. But are you still here, Les?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, excellent. But so thank you for joining us. And both of you have a great New Year.
Yeah, for those that are watching online or those that are participating in other ways, thanks for joining us for Holiday Chat. And Happy New Year to everyone in 2022. That's gonna be watch for us.
Just watch, because I think we're gonna be running. We'll probably trip the first day, trip the second day, trip again all the way through next year.
Just because
that's who we are. Yeah, because in long shoestrings, that's what it is. And everybody, chin up, right? Like the past couple of years have been hard. There's a lot, and I'll say this: it's not going to get easier. Right. It's like we've got a long, hard stretch. A lot of changes coming to. A lot of families everywhere, and the one thing we can do is just try to remain that connection and that support system to one another. And
if there's anything that I can say is that, if there's anything that you and I have learned throughout this entire process is Credito Spes, committed to hope. Not always easy, but man, worth the effort.
Yeah, that's one of those things going way back, because we've done a couple times tonight, is early on. That was our slogan was committed to hope, and we made a commitment to each other that wasn't like, you just don't necessarily know what that means. And sometimes relationships can get really challenging. But if you're committed to something greater than yourself, that comes back to that whole thing we were talking about with Julio, that human spirit is resilient. And, we can't let that, the regret and the fight and all the other stuff that just sort of wants to puke all over everybody today. We've got to do what we can to help one another kind of just get up and keep moving forward. So I hope your 2022, whoever's tuning in, I hope your 2022 is better than your 2021. And we know those last couple of years have been hard, and really no reason to think it's going to get easier. So maybe it's just time to get stronger.
Yep. Get ready. Hang on to your hats. Life's about to get interesting.
Even more so. All right. Well.
Okay, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Thanks again for calling in tonight. We'll be talking to you soon.
All right.
Good night, all.